Welcome back to another Palworld video, guys. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the PAL decks and just kind of the description of what you're seeing in the PAL decks and what the things in that description means, like the works suitability, as well as some of the passive skills that PALs have. So that way you can get a little bit of a better understanding on who you may want on your team, who you may want on your farm, and who you may want to use just kind of like during your farming adventures, so on and so forth, because every PAL has a purpose. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, welcome back to another video here on Palworld. So in this video today, I want to talk about the PALs and their exact things that they do within the world. So just to give you a visual, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the PAL deck here in the menu and look at Kativa, and then kind of go over each section on the right hand side on that mini menu. So let's start at partner skill. So partner skill, each PAL has something different. So Kativa's partner skill is, while it's in your team, Kativa will help carry supplies, increasing the player's max carrying capacity. I think from what I've seen, it's a 50% increase. Don't quote me on that, but and it also stacks for each Kativa in your team. So if you were to have 4 Kativas and then you have one PAL that mines for ore, since ore is pretty heavy, then you'd be able to carry a lot more ore with you as opposed to having to keep traveling back and forth. So that's a really good way of farming in the wild, so that way you can try and get as much stuff as possible while your PALs are farming in their bases. So they all have different partner skills though. So like Lamball, you can quite literally pick him up and then use him as a shield. It's a funny animation. He'll literally start crying while you're holding him up. But they all have really cool stuff that you can utilize too, like Chickpea here. He'll sometimes lay an egg while he's assigned to a ranch. So if you were to pick up Chickpea like this, oh, hold on, my character is starving right now. They're a little anorexic, but it's okay. Anyway, so you could pick up the Chickpea. This isn't Chickpea though, and then you could throw him into the ranch, and then he'll start producing eggs effectively. And then those eggs, then you can go ahead and use for recipes, and then feeding your PALs, and not having to go look for them in the wild. So the next thing is the work suitability. So in the options section, they have the survival guide, and they'll have some useful tips that you can look at, but it's just pretty basic information. So it doesn't talk about work suitability, at least I didn't see it. So I'll start with the first one with kindling. So each work suitability and each PAL will be able to have a different job within your base, and they'll be able to help you towards that. The work suitability has different levels, so I believe the highest is level 4, so it goes from level 1 to level 4, and different PALs will have different numbers of work suitability. So the main goal is to try to have a PAL that has as many work suitability jobs that they're capable of doing, so that way you can maximize on what you can do within your base. So Kativa, for example, she has handiwork, transporting, gathering, and mining. So she'll go mine the stone in the stone pit. She'll gather the materials that drop from the ranch and put them in my boxes, and they'll automatically just pick them up and then put them in that storage container. So you'll see here I have 89,000 gold coins, 689 PAL spheres, 167 arrows, whatever the case, and they'll just kind of work for themselves. So kindling will be used for things like cooking. Watering will be used for things like planting, or rather growing the plants. Planting will be planting. Generating electricity, eventually you'll be able to actually have modern stuff within your base. So right now we're kind of like primitive medieval times with the wooden walls and the stone base, but eventually you'll be able to actually get things that look more like a modern era, and you have modern walls, and you'll be able to put light fixtures around your base, and rather than torches. So it's pretty cool. It'll all show you in the technology tree and what level you'll unlock it. But anywho, so then you'll have PALs that can generate electricity towards those power generators, so that way your base can stay lit. Handiwork, I believe, is where they will build stuff for you. So in your workbenches, if you were to, let's say, craft a handgun, or you want to craft a stone axe that requires handiwork, then you'll see a Cativa or whatever PAL that has that um, work sustain, whatever it's called. What is it again? Work suitability. And then they'll start working on that for you. So you won't have to actually sit there and craft it. They'll do it for you while you're doing something else. The next one is gathering. So that's what I just explained, where they go ahead and pick up any items from the ranch, put it in your box. Lumbering is with the trees. They'll go ahead and knock down any of the trees within this pit area. The next one is mining, and that's in the stone pit. Medicine production, so sometimes your pals will hurt themselves. They may get an ulcer or they may have a sprain, and you can craft medicine to treat them. Normally I just get rid of them. I'll sell them to the pawn, or rather the what's it called? I can't think of the name, but you can sell them to some of the syndicate people. So I'll sell them and get money for them if they have a sprain or they have an ulcer or they're sick or something. Or I'll just get rid of them altogether, because I just don't see a point in keeping them in them and wasting those resources when I can save it for like stronger pals later down the line. But really, material and inventory is kind of scarce on hard mode, at least. So that's what I'm playing. The next thing is cooling. So if you have like a freezer or a refrigerator, then you could put meat in there and the meat will last longer, since meat spoils. So the cooling will help you with that if you have a pal with that. Transporting is just moving things from one place to another. They can help with moving any of the equipment. And then finally farming any of the berries and putting them into the storage containers. And some of them, if they don't have the transporting and they only have farming, they'll just kind of just drop the items on the ground and you have to pick it up. Or if you have a pal that has transporting, they'll just pick it up for you. So they all kind of work together, and they all do different things. So it's always nice to have a variety of them that have multiple skills. So if you look at Lift Monk, he has planting, handiwork, lumbering, medicine production, and gathering, but they're all level 1, so he doesn't really produce at an efficient level. But the stronger the PAL, then the more that they'll do. So if you go lower down the list here, let's see. Let's look at Robin Quill. Robin Quill has level 2 handiwork, level 2 transporting, and everything else that Luffmink has. But he's much harder to find, and he's much stronger. So always keep that in mind when you're looking for better pals. You'll probably want to be at a higher level with stronger pals so that you can try and catch one. Also, at some point, the pal spheres do become pretty weak and useless, so you'll want to end up wanting to get better spheres to catch those stronger pals. So the next thing is the possible drops. So sometimes you'll need certain materials to be able to craft certain things, and some drops are only found from pals. So for example, let's say I wanted to build a water fountain. This is why this is here. I want to go ahead and put a water fountain right on top of this, and the water fountain requires pal fluids, ingots, and stones. So let's just say I needed pal fluids. I can go into the pal deck, and then I can go to a water pal, and usually the water pals will be the ones that drop pal fluids, but not all. So if you just want to confirm and check, then you can go ahead and see that Celery will drop pal fluids, and you can look at their habitat by, I think it's R trigger. Yep. Oops. So R trigger will show you their habitat within the overworld, and then they're usually going to be found by beaches. So go to a beach area and pretty much just knock out every water type that you see, or catch them. That gives you more experience when you catch versus killing them. But killing is much faster, so if you're just wanting to farm quicker, keep that in mind. But yeah, if you kill them or catch them, then you'll get the pal fluids, and also butchering them will give you pal fluids too. So catching them will kind of give you 2x if you needed more, but it's more time consuming, so that's the trade-off there. So yeah, that's a good use of the menus, and then it'll keep track of your capture bonus as well at the bottom. So the capture bonus caps at 10, and then you'll get a really high increase um, of EXP when you complete that 10 out of 10 capture bonus. But that's pretty much all the definitions of what all that means on the right hand side. And then below the POW, it'll also show you what they can do, or a brief description rather of the POW. So Celeray, riding the wind, this POW travels where it pleases. Should it find a partner along the way, this encounter will mark its journey's end. So it'll kind of give you like a Pokedex entry effectively. But this is pretty much everything you need to know about your POWs, which ones are the best ones, how you can figure out which ones you want in your base, and how they can help you with efficiency and maximizing the use of pretty much everything. So I can go ahead and start crafting a wooden club if I want to. A POW will start working on that. I can start crafting something here, or rather some medicine, so that a POW can start working on that, and they will go ahead and start doing that for me without me having to do anything. So pretty cool stuff, and I hope that was helpful for some of you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Ring that notification bell for more videos on Palworld. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.